couldn't be more prouder than the man I'm about to bring up to the stage right now. He just 2 days ago, gave his life to Christ. You guys can go see it on Facebook if you want to see it. So, this next young man, he is only 11 years old. Started his first business at just 9 years old. He came to me one day and he said, "Daddy, I want my own app." I was like, "What? Why?" He goes, "Well, I've been showing your app at school, man. Everyone thinks you're cool. I want to be cool. I want an app." And I was like, I don't build apps for little kids, for games. No, I don't do that kind of apps. I build apps for brands and businesses and entrepreneurs. So come to me with a business idea and we'll have a conversation. An hour later, this kid comes back with a piece of paper. He's got 3 business ideas written out. Okay? One was, I want to go to kids' birthday parties and draw them as superheroes. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. The second one, he's like, I want to sell all kinds of art around the world and just draw things off of these really cool people. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he shares other ideas as well. But the funny thing is every single one of those ideas were surrounded with art. He loved art. He loves art. And the funny thing is that I recognize is that, these kids actually come up with some pretty cool ideas. 9 years old. Which actually inspired me for my entire From Orphan to CEO project. To say, look, if a kid at 9 years old can come up with these business ideas, imagine these other kids, what kind of ideas did they have? And all he had to do was bring me these ideas, and I showed him how we can turn those into a business. I said, I can do this for every kid. What about our kids in foster care? What about our kids that don't even know that they have an opportunity? So I started hosting From Orphan to CEO events. Started bringing kids that are aging out of the foster care system, bringing them on stage and ask them, what do you like to do? What's fun? And we would turn something that they would think just as fun, we would turn that into their business. Now we have students that have their own fashion lines and their own brands and their own blogs and kids that are going to stores to become influencers and getting paid to do it. And all because of this little man's little idea saying, I want my own app. Give me my own app, baby. I was like, okay. So shortly after that, we launched an app. He has his own app now, Kids Art with Isaac Lopez. And we took one of his ideas. Yeah, he's doing those apps. The kid has sponsors now. The kid's got clients. I mean, it's amazing. That kid's a nationwide speaker, speaking all over the nation. And if you guys have any events, hey, you might want to have this little guy on your stage. I'm just saying.
That's right.
The kid got me a speaking gig one day, right? This stage I've been trying to get on for 2 years, right? He did a live. It was actually this one. Not this place, but a year ago, I did a Cervex OC. He spoke on stage. Somebody had watched the video online and said, that kid's on my stage. And I was like, I want to be there. Man. But then I go, well, if you have him, somebody has to chaperone him and could possibly be another speaker for you too. So yeah, I got a speaking gig because of this guy. But let's welcome to the stage, Isaac Lopez! All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a nice little exclusive interview. He's like, Dad, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? I was like, I don't know. What are you going to say? I was like, what about when I just interview you? He's like, oh, that'd be so cool. And the wife's like, oh, that'd be so cute. So we're like, done. We'll do that. All right, so Isaac, young superstar, little mini me. Doesn't he look like me?
Yeah.
Just like me, huh? No DNA test.
More handsome.
Huh?
He's more handsome.
Yeah, I would hope so. He's got his mama in him, man. My parents are ugly. Have you seen my? No. I'm just messing. All right, so Isaac, let's start off with this. Just a couple of days ago, we were driving in the car, and we were kind of coming up like, what are we going to talk about? What are some of the things? Yeah, we were on our way to him getting baptized, and we're like, all right, so tell me, what is something that you would share? And he starts telling me something about people being treated a certain way. What? And it totally floored me. I'm like, aw, flip the roll on there. What is that little comment you said?
So, has anyone told you treat people like you want to be treated?
Yes.
Well, the actual is should be treat people like they want to be treated. I learned this from Gary Vaynerchuk, and he said that I like understand it, but he was talking about like people have their own mindset, they have their own space, they have what they think. Not everyone thinks like you. You should understand that.
Powerful stuff. Think about that. I mean, a lot of people, oh, treat them how you would want to be. I want to be treated. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of like the same thing in that love language, right? You would think, oh, well, that's how I want to be treated. I'm going to smack my wife in the butt and call her sexy, right? But no, treat them how they want to be treated. That's smart, brother. Wise. Now, why do you want to do what you do these days? Because you do a lot of different things now. He's like a Fortnite champion, if you guys know what that is. He's telling me to buy all these dang skins. I'm like, you buy skin off people? Like, it's weird, bro. I don't know how that works. But yeah, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? You're 11 years old now. 5 years from now, you'll be 16 years old. You'll be about to drive a car. Where do you see yourself at that point?
Since I'm about to drive a car, I'll get a Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, he has his plan. Because I told him I'm not going to buy no Lamborghini. That's a waste of money. For me, at least. He goes, well, I know I can leverage that. If I'm a Lamborghini at 16 years old, everyone's going to know me. He's like, his goal for her high school, what is your high school, what is it?
Before
prom?
high school.
Oh, he's like, I wanted this before high school. Okay, this is a before high school goal now.
I just wanted to have my own Lamborghini and leverage that. Telling people I'm the 16-year-old that owns my own Lamborghini. Because people will know me by that.
And guess who one of his friends is? Ty Lopez. Where do you think we're going first once we get that Lamborghini? Of course. I mean, we brought Ty a scooter board, if you know what that is. And he put all over Snapchat, all over. I mean, the lady paid him to possibly get it in front of influencers. So the first place he goes is Ty Lopez's house with it, and then has Ty Lopez put it in front of millions of people. You think you can deliver? Right? Now, we're going to have some questions for the audience to ask as well, so get ready. But I want to ask one more question.
Well, we didn't finish that question.
Oh, okay, go. I'm not done.
Well, in 5 years, I'll be trying to help kids in Africa, dangerous places, and like helping them to feed them, have them good water to drink, and just helping the world out with hunger and stuff about that.
So this ties into your 10-year goal, because we've talked about this one before.
Yes.
So tell them a little bit about that concept, because you have this completely mapped out. It's not just, hey, we want to help a good cause. He's mapped it out. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to bring billionaires. We're going to be asking them if they want to be part of the journey of helping world hunger, helping kids, and we'll be like donating. We'll get foundations to help people out there, and that's what I mapped out.
What is, so world hunger is the goal, right?
Yes.
And what is the number you got to hit for that?
35 billion.
35 billion. Is that just one time? Or is that monthly? Or
1 year.
Every year.
Each year.
So every year, $35 billion he needs to come up with. That's the number to end world hunger, if you guys don't know. $35 billion a year. We have corporations right now that can end world hunger like that. They have the resources to do it, but they don't. And it's confusing to me and my son how we have trillion-dollar grants, and yet people still sleeping on the streets. They're still hungry. $35 billion a year, and how do you plan to first fund that? That's the biggest question. How do you get $35 billion every single year?
We will find billionaires, and they will help out through the journey. Maybe we could donate to them, and we could keep the food running still, and clean water for kids cannot get diseases, adults don't get diseases, or anything that's like gonna kill them.
Why is that important to you?
Because there shouldn't be people living on the streets because they need help. They don't understand what's going on.
And how do you plan to help them other than, let me say we feed them, they're fed.
Yeah, they're fed. But have you ever heard the like? I forgot the quote how it goes, but like, do not just give a person a fish, just teach them how to fish.
Yes. If you teach a man to fish, if you feed him, if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. If you teach a man a fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime.
Yes. So that's what I want to do because people they don't have mentors, they don't understand what's going on. If you mentor them, they can learn how to grow their business. They don't start by themselves. People need help. Other people can help other people to get on different levels.
So it's about collaboration, right?
Collaboration.
And the simple fact is this. See, I've, in the last 7 years, been able to surround myself with some pretty high-level people. A lot of billionaires I have in my Rolodex right now. And to think about this, just imagine, if we get 35 billionaires in this world, there's well over 1,000 of them, right? We get just 35 of them to each donate $1 billion a year. That could be an organization, that could be an individual, but who wouldn't want to be behind this type of cause? End world hunger. It takes 35 decisions. That's it. 35 decisions, then we can partner and fund every single organization that needs it. The biggest thing that these nonprofits need is they need funding and awareness, right? I know how to create awareness. We know how to map out the funding. Now it is just providing the resources. Anybody have a question for Isaac? Tucker.
Brother, first of all, I respect you for what you're doing, and I love it, man. You know, you be the blessing for others, and you live within blessings, and that's what you're doing is you're blessing people. So what I want to know is, we know what you want to do, and we know that there's a great reason behind it, but what I want to know is at the core of yourself, what is the why behind it, your purpose?
Well, one time I was speaking at a homeless shelter to a bunch of kids, and I saw that there's a lot of them actually. And just going through the city, there's a lot of homeless people, a bunch of tents, a bunch of people just lying around the streets.
Skid row.
And I just wanted to help those people. And that's why I'm going to do that in my future.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for having the courage at such a young age because I know it's not easy, you know? So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
My question to you is, do you plan on asking those billionaires, because they invest money as well, but invest property, invest permaculture, herbs, fruits, vegetables, because yeah, money is good to do that, but also to have that regeneration of, you know, those crops and, you know, just get together with other billionaires and even millionaires and imagine how many, you know, properties we can have. Do you ever think about that, or are you open to that?
Yeah, we kind of discussed that as well. So we're thinking, well, $35 billion a year, that could end world hunger and that could buy a lot of property.
Exactly.
What if we turned a lot of, I mean, think about this, just in the U.S. alone, we don't even have to go outside the U.S., just in the U.S. alone, we have more vacant houses that are unsold than we have homeless people on the street. 3 to 1. I just need to buy 1 out of every 3 houses we can house every single homeless person. We have to give them the resources, though. We can't just hand it to them. That's the idea. We want to teach them how to be self-sufficient, how to create wealth, how to create success.
Hey, Isaac.
Hey.
My name's Ashton. I just wanted to ask you a question because one of these days I want to be a father. And what's one of the attributes that you truly love about your dad? And what was it about him that made you want to become an entrepreneur?
At the age of 5, he used to bring me to these kind of events, masterminds, seminars, and expos. Expos were my favorite, first of all. A bunch of free
Asian kids
stuff,
at expos.
a bunch of crazy stuff everywhere. But
Way to
he
promote.
used to give me those banners, and I used to set them up. We have some pictures of me setting them up. I was like 5 years old, like this tall, super tall, and I liked.
He's like tall now.
So my dad used to tell me, I want you to like teach your kid the loosest fear of communicating with people, interacting, because you want them to learn how to interact with people. If they're shy, that's not going to be good in the future life because people need to interact with others if they want to make income or if they need to do it as an important for your life. So my dad used to give me business cards. Um, used to make me go get business cards. And the funny part was that he used
Go
to
get that business card from that guy. He looks fancy.
yeah, that's how it was. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that, and I'm scared. But then he used to tell me to come up there, ask them for the business card, see what they do, and that's how I lost my fear of interacting and communicating with other people around me.
Hello, my name's Jeff. I have 3 kids myself, and there's this interesting thing that happens. We'll say something to our kids over and over again, knowing it's the right thing for them, and they'll ignore us because they hear the same voice that they hear, brush your teeth in your room, finish your plate. So they hear the same voice, even if we're telling them something. Then somebody else will come along and say, hey, do this, we'll go do it right away. I'm like, I've been telling them that for years. So do you still hear your parents with that brush your teeth in your room, I want to reject what you're saying voice, or did that go away at age 5, where you're tuned in?
It's his brother I have to tell to brush his teeth. She laughs hard because she knows it's true. He's really good at brushing his teeth, but yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. Like every day at school, my mom comes in. She's like, "Wake up, brush your teeth." It's kind of funny. Like I'm used to it. I'm just like, sleep, good dream, and then I hear my mom walking. And I'm like, oh, I gotta wake up and go to school. No. So that's how it is in like our household.
You still have some resistance, but not as much as
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a typical kid, right? He loves to play, loves to get in trouble, loves to just be a chaotic boy as much as he can. We're Carlos and then Eric.
Alright. Well, Isaac, nice to see you again, man. And just congratulations on everything you've done. And Manny, incredible job at just being a father. It really inspires me. So, I heard you say you just recently got baptized, Isaac. So, I'm curious to know. Oh, yeah. I'm curious to know what's your relationship like with God? Like, what does that spiritual life look like for you?
Well, God is the thing that makes me go forward. Because God put me in this world not to just be one of those people that do nothing. He put me in this world to help someone, to help people. That's why He put me in this world. He didn't put all of you just to stay here. He wanted you to do something, help the world, help other people that need help. So that's my relationship with God. He makes me want to go further.
Shout out to God.
Shout out God. Hashtag real men love Jesus. It's on IG.
I just think it's really awesome. Like, I love the way God. Shout out. I just want to reiterate what I believe Jeff said. And Isaac, man, I want you to, if you could take this in and absorb this and extend what you're doing, which is awesome, because what I heard was, we hear this a lot, not the brush your teeth, forget that. We need to help homeless. We need to do this. We need to stop doing this. I heard that there's going to be more plastic than fish in the ocean soon by 20 whatever year it is.
Yes.
But you're preaching the same things that everyone else has been preaching, yet you're 11, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
And coming from a voice like yours, you're going to make that much more of an impact. So I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
I'm a mom of an 11-year-old boy, and I just want to say you're amazing, as everybody else feels the same way. So really what I want to know is, because I would love to share you with my son, so what is your Instagram handle, first of all? Because so we can share the love, and I love what my son did take, for example,
My Instagram is Kids Are with Isaac Lopez. Kids ART. People usually put R, like ARE, and that's not the correct one.
Kids art like drawing, yes. Kids art with Isaac Lopez. Yeah, you'd be able to follow him on Instagram, guys. I mean, you guys probably double his followers right now if you all want to follow him. He loves to keep it organic. We're not doing any crazy boosting on his stuff, but yeah, we'll definitely keep him more active on that.
And GodLovesIsaac.com.
That's a great one.
Your peers, not what would you be like the single, like some advice that you would give to your peers? Do you kind of mentor them, or what would you say to somebody who's your age and how you got started, or what was your first? I mean, obviously your dad is in this industry, and that's great. But for you to be following that, we don't always follow our parents. We go in our footsteps or their advice. So I just would do like a little bit of nugget to share how you got started, or what would you tell somebody who's your peer?
Great. I wanted someone to ask that, but I'm waiting. So the first thing I will say was my 3 steps called follow your passion, find a mentor, and then be a sponge for knowledge. First, you want to find your passion. I know a lot of people say this, but you actually want to find your passion because you don't want to do a business that you actually don't like. Some people do businesses like jobs. They're like, I don't want to be a cook, but that's the only thing that left to do. But do something that you actually love. I like drawing. That's why I created a business of art. And I created the business because I wanted to do what I love to do. So that's why I mean my passion. By finding a mentor, I found it's the same thing. It's connecting to being a sponge for knowledge because you want to find a mentor, someone that's maybe 25 years ahead of you, maybe less, but you want to
Just a couple decades. 20, 25, something in that range.
someone who already has been there. Here's another thing that connects to that is to seek counsel instead of opinion. Because when you learn from someone that says, I will teach you how to make $1 million, but I never made $1 million in my whole life. You don't want to learn from those kind of people. Learn from millionaires that already done. Learn from billionaires, people that already has done what you want to do. Be a sponge for knowledge. You want the same thing that connects. Learn from people. You want to just keep learning because good enough is never enough.
Woo! Kids dropping some knowledge bombs on you. All right, we got 2 more questions. So Anya and Mary. So Mary first, and then Anya.
You are such an inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing your son with us. And in addition to that, I want us all to give a round of applause to Manny and Nancy because let's give a round of applause. I work with kids too, and I have kids. So to see a family that's really producing something this inspirational really just lights me up. So thank you. So
It's all right.
it's a
She's
team.
putting in all the work.
It's a team, right? So my
Just show up.
question is actually for you, Manny. At what point did you start instilling some of these values and how?
I just thought 5 years old was the number. I don't know why. Up until then, I really don't have much that I can pour into them that they understand. But at 5 years old, I decided to start taking my kids to expos. That's the best way to get them introduced. Seminars, not fun for a 5-year-old, okay? Won't be a good idea for you. But expos, they love it all day. They get a little bag, they get a bunch of free stuff, they get to walk around all these booths, they don't have to stay still. They love it, right? And that was the best way to get him acclimated to networking and communicating and building relationships and finding a way to bring value to somebody else that's across from you in a quick amount of time, right? That's really what really helped a lot. That and then and here's a trick that I learned from Caleb Maddox. His dad, Caleb Maddox is now a millionaire, 17-year-old millionaire, and his dad did not pay him to do chores. He paid him to read success books. And so I started doing that with Isaac. He's read 3 Feet from Gold. I'm trying to get him through Think and Grow Rich. It's kind of a hard one. But that's the idea, is getting him to be a sponge for knowledge on real valuable insight. So he's used things like counsel versus opinion, and I mean, he's reading Greg Reed books, right? You're like, hey, did Greg say that, right? But that's the concept, is getting them around people that are massively successful, and it inspires them to do more, right? And that's what it's really been all about. Starting with Expos. Expos, paying them to read success books. On you.
So I've been really lucky to see you a couple times now, Isaac, speak on stage, and as well with Ever and some of these other awesome kid speakers. Do you guys ever do any projects together, and do you plan to do your own events together? Because that would be really cool.
I'll
produce that.
Well, with Ever, I like to work with her to end world hunger, because she has that same project she's trying to do. So I think I'll do that project with her too.
So yes. Nothing on the calendar as of yet, but 2019, I'm going to do a kids seminar. We'll put that on the calendar. I got to figure out what date, but it's going to happen. I like that. Thank you for the inspiration. One last question.
I was just thinking you could try Think and Grow Rich for Women. I know he's not a woman, but it's a much easier read. I read through that in 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Think and Grow Rich,
I actually have. I tried to get my wife to read it. She wouldn't read it.
Try that out.
She's not being paid to read it.
True. There's no incentive behind it. All right, so that is that with Isaac Lopez. If you guys want to connect with him, you guys know where you can find him. Let's give him a round of applause for Isaac.
One more thing, I want to give special thanks to my mom and dad for teaching me for all these years, to bring me up on stages, to get me to where I am right now.